What's up, guys? Welcome back to my personal hell I like to call Your Movie Sucks. Because today, we're gonna review Angry Birds 2. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would they make a sequel? Well, let me tell you. Sony saw it made $352 million, and they said, let's make another one just for the money. Well, with all that being said, let's get into this piece of shit. The movie begins with everyone in Bird Island using the catapult to launch themselves wherever they need to go. We then meet our main characters, Red, Bomb, and Chuck, where they are dealing with the pigs, and the pigs throw a piece of pie to the birds, and to fire back, our main characters use a slingshot to throw hot sauce to their island. Then it just goes back and forth between the birds and pigs until all of a sudden, a big ice ball comes from out of nowhere, and it comes from an unknown island. It then jumps back to the birds where they receive a note from the pigs asking for truce with them. Red thinks that it's just another prank, but Bomb and Chuck don't believe it. We then cut to the little baby birds playing around acting like the pigs, and one bird messes up the line saying rock instead of eggs. So one of the birds actually grabs the eggs and puts it in front of him, and before they do anything with them, the eggs are floating into the ocean. We then cut back to the pigs trying to figure out where this ice ball came from. Then the king gets pictures from the ice island, and he sees a picture of our main villain, Zeta, I think is her name, a purple eagle who is tired of being on an island that is just frozen. Then we cut back to our main three where Chuck and Bomb take Red to some type of dating place because it's mating season. This movie, you just started out okay, and now you give me this. I hate it. Anyways, Chuck tells Red that he can't leave because Chuck has his house key somewhere in his body parts. Okay, now this is just getting weird. We then get a montage of the birds going through date after date, and it's just not going well at all for them. I really want to know who came up with this scene. Because if someone walked up to me saying, hey, we should put in a scene where the birds go on a speed date, I would have smacked them. Anyways, back to it. When Red has finally had enough, he leaves and we cut back to his house. Wait a minute. How was he able to leave? Chuck told me he can't because he has the key to his home. How did he get the key? How did he have to put it somewhere in Chuck's... What is going on? Okay, I'm calmed down now. Anyways, the king shows up at Red's door, and Red acts like you think he would, slams the door in his face, and Red still doesn't believe the king after the king said he wanted truce, so Red says fine, we can talk, and ties the king up because Red doesn't trust him at all. The king then tells him about the random ice balls coming from a third island. The king then tells him how he knows this, and he tells Red that he has drones, and Red says they have used it on Red before, and Red tells him that they have seen him, and the pigs say yes, and that is disgusting. Do I have to keep watching this? Because I really don't want to after that line. Anyways, the king and Red go and get their friends together to take down the other island. After they get their friends, Red brings up that they are going to need an engineer, so Chuck tells Red that he can get his sister, who is an engineer, to help them out. We then see that Chuck's sister is the girl that Red was on a speed date with earlier. Chuck and his sister then start tickling each other. We then cut back to the baby birds who are on a mission to get the other eggs. They then find the eggs and they realize that getting them back was too easy. They find out they are on a whale, the whale that blows out water, and the eggs land on a cloud. Okay. We then cut back to the Mighty Eagle's cave where they are all talking about the plan to get to Eagle Island. We've noticed that when Red shows who the leader of the Eagle Island is, Zeta, the Mighty Eagle freaks out and they ask him if he knows her, and he says no. After that, an ice ball is coming towards the Eagle's cave, and it hits it, but our main characters get out just in time. We then see that they are falling. They all grab the map, and it slows them down, making them land safe. We then cut back to Zeta talking about why can't the other birds left yet, and she tells one of her minions to send more ice balls filled with lava. Our main characters then get on a submarine and head to Eagle Island. While they are in a submarine, we meet a pig who appears to be some type of engineer. The engineer pig then talks about all the stupid gadgets he has. We then see that Bomb and Chuck are putting some type of green stuff all over their bodies. The engineer pig then tells them that it's pig snot. After he tells them, Bomb eats some of it. Now, does this top the eagle piss like the last movie? No, but it is close. The engineer then brings up a gadget that can track an eagle, and when he brings it out, it is shown that it just says, "There is an eagle nearby," over and over again. After Red gets annoyed by it, he is about to tell him that his gadgets suck. But before he says it, Chuck's sister tells him that he needs to be more supportive to the team. We then cut back to the baby birds, which I bet you forgot about the side story. We see that they don't know what to do to grab the eggs. Two of the birds make an idea to tie a rope around one of the baby's mouth and breathe into it to make her start floating in the air to grab the eggs. But they go too far and end up in space. After they go so far into a spacecraft, it takes off the knot and sends them back down to Earth, which I don't know how they're not dead, because how are they breathing in space? This movie is so dumb. After they go back down, they fall into a tree, which sends them back up to grab the eggs, but they drop the eggs and it falls right where a snake is sleeping. We then cut back to Zeta, who is going through with the lava ice balls, and her minion tells her that it's going to take 2 weeks to finish, but she then threatens him to get it done tomorrow. We then cut back to our main characters, who have now arrived on Eagle Island. After they leave the submarine, the Mighty Eagle says that Zeta is in fact his ex-fiancée. We then get a montage about him and Zeta, and we find out that Zeta proposed to Mighty Eagle, and after he accepted the day of the marriage, he abandoned her. My god, now I don't feel bad for Zeta. The gang then shows a disguise to Red and how it can get them inside. But Red tells him why they didn't tell him, and he tells him it won't work, and Birdland is only counting on him. You know what? Red is such a jerk in this movie, and it's crazy that I have to say I hate our main character. Red tells the gang he's gonna go do this on his own, so Chuck's sister, who I am now finding out her name is Silver, says she is gonna go with Red while the gang uses the disguise. We then go to the birds in disguise, and they trick the guards into letting them in. We then cut back to Red and Silver, who are at the top of the mountain, and Red and Silver trying to come up with a plan to get down there. Red then grabs a rope, which he already had, I guess. Red jumps into the cave, and Silver notices he is not hooked up, so she saves him, but Red, once again, is still trying to be the hero by himself, because Red's a frickin' jerk, and that's all he is in this movie. Silver then brings up to Red that one of his feathers fell off and will hit one of the guards. Silver then catches the feather. When she gets it, she notices that Red is going to try and cut the wires to the Eagle's ice ball machine. When Red cuts it, it turns out that it was just a microwave. Then we cut back to the birds in disguise trying to get through a door, but it needs a code. They see a guard coming to the door. They hear an eagle tell someone he has to go to the bathroom. And wait. Oh god, the last time there was a piss joke, it was in the last movie, and it was so uncomfortable, and I swear if they do anything like that, I'll quit. They then follow him to the bathroom where they try and get his key card. When they try to get it, it looks like the bird is looking at him. No, where is this going? They then move to the other side of the eagle to pretend he is peeing, and Chuck just makes weird noise. This is just gross. Anyway, when the guard tries to leave, Chuck grabs a hold of the key card, but it is on a wire, so it's stretching so much that it swings the guard and knocks him out, and the birds get the key card. We then cut to the baby birds, who have the eggs now and have a snake hat. Why did they never cut back to them grabbing the eggs, let alone killing the snake? The babies then think that they made it to Bird Island, but they are actually on Piggy Island. One of the baby birds is bleeped out for saying swear words. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Angry Birds. This is not, we're close to it. It then cuts back to the birds in disguise in the ice balls room, and a guard sees them and starts dancing, and now a dance battle begins. Chuck then notices that the eagles caught Silver and Red. The king tells them that we need to stop the weapon first, but then Chuck says his sister matters more. So they take off to try and go save them. We then cut back to Red and Silver, and we see Zeta talking to them, and she tells them that Red is trying to be the tough guy and the only hero that matters, and to save the day. Zeta then says that Red can't stand her for being the smart one. She then tells Red and Silver what she is going to do, and she plans on taking out Piggy and Bird Island for her personal paradise. So she then shoots out ice balls now filled with lava. We then cut back to the useless story, and we see the baby piggies with the baby birds, but now they're in a hot air balloon, which again would have been better if they showed them building it while they're trying to get to Bird Island. And we see ice balls head towards Pig Island, then another ice ball hits the Bird Island. And then we see big red boy Terrence trying to grab the kids, only to find out they are gone. Then we cut back to Zeta telling Red and Silver that she gave a warning for everyone to evacuate, only to realize Red told the birds to not evacuate, and Red now feels like he caused this to happen. Red tells Silver that he is afraid to not be liked, which that's kind of a crap reason. But we then see Zeta talking to the Eagle about being tired of all the cold stuff there, and now wanting to be warm. We then cut to Silver getting out of the trap, and she also gets Red out of the trap. The rest of the birds then burst in, and they tell Red what they should do to stop this, and Red tells them to listen to Silver. Silver then makes up a plan to try and take the machine down. We then see Chuck putting drawings all over the cameras, that way the guards can't see. We then see Red and Silver in the vents, and they open a vent, and it's the ice seal, and set a dog on a date. What am I watching? We then go to the pigs who are trying to pull the lever all the way down that connects to the weapon. While they have to cross a very thin line, the king then realizes that he may be too big. The pigs tell him to suck in his butt. I really hope I'm almost done with this. Anyways, we then cut to Bomb, and he has to try and take out the guards. And when they told Bomb to take them out, he takes them out for drinks. You know, let's not have an epic fight scene. Nah, let's make them take out for drinks. Jesus. We then cut back to the pigs, who are now in pink singlets. And that's pretty much all they do in that scene. And then it cuts back to Zeta walking back into her lair, and she finds Red and Silver gone. She then tells one of her minions to go find them. We then cut back to Red and Silver, who have arrived where the ice balls are made, and they have to jump inside an ice ball. After they are in an ice ball, they avoid the lava injection, and when the pigs try to pull the lever down, the engineer guy, Gary is his name, gets hit with ice and now holding onto the ice bridge. We then jump back to the pigs where the king, Courtney, I think that's her name, try to pull the lever down, but it ends up breaking. And Silver then gets an idea that if Gary can give Chuck the gadgets, Chuck then gets there and gets the Eagle's nearby gadget for Red and Silver to hit. That way they hit the machine and stop it. But that plan fails. After Zeta has them captured, the mighty Eagle shows up and tells Zeta that he is the cause of it and that he should never have left her. Zeta then says that she is over him, but while Zeta is yelling at him, Red then tells Silver about the super string that Silver made earlier, and that it could help destroy the machine. Zeta then tells Mighty Eagle that he in fact has a daughter. After she tells him that, Zeta then shoots the ice balls out, only to realize the super string stops it. But while they are shooting out the ice balls, the rope starts to break, and when it does, the babies show up and save it, causing the balls to go down and destroying the volcano. After that, Zena then looks for her daughter. She looks around and opens a metal part to find that Mighty Eagle saved her. The daughter is happy that her dad saved her life, and she tells Zeta if he could stay. Mighty Eagle does all what he can do to let him stay to help raise his daughter. We then cut to Bird Island where Zeta and Mighty Eagle are getting married. Wait, so we're just gonna ignore the destroyed pig island? Okay. Anyways, the birds then make a toast for their hero, Red. Red said he is not the real hero, Silver is. Red then reveals a mountain that shows all the people that saved them. And now I'll say everyone loves Red even more now. Then they all start partying and dance. Before I go dance and celebrate this movie being over, I still have to give out a conclusion. Well, that was Angry Birds 2, and well, what can I say? It's not good. But is it as bad as the first one? It's just awful. But so is this one. So I'm just going to leave that up to you guys in the comments. And by the way, I'm so sorry I have not posted in a while, but I promise that won't happen again. I'll see y'all next time.